Sounds like Rick's ready.
We're live, Johnny. Good Friday morning, everyone. How you doing? You eat too much breakfast? Maybe? Yeah, that's okay. That's okay, too. Today is Friday, December 8th, 2023, and this is your Friday morning meeting. I'd like to welcome everybody. I'd like to give a big shout out to all of our drivers out there that are working, running down the highway, delivering, picking up. Hopefully doing it all on time, and most importantly, doing it safely. So thank you for what you do. If you're listening in on social media, we got a number of different outlets there too. Including too, Johnny, all of our visitors we got out there, maybe non-Prime people, maybe some drivers listening, wondering what's this about, what's Prime about. Hey, take the next 59 minutes or so, sit back and listen to what we got, because we got a jam-packed meeting this morning. So
we do. We have more speakers today than we may have ever had this year.
And we're in the holiday season behind us. We got the reindeer and Mr. Santa Claus going, and I think one of those presents has to be mine because I've been good.
You should open them and just check to be sure.
I'll do that later on. I won't waste the meeting time. But
all right, good deal. Well, good morning. My name is John Harden. I'm in our safety department. This is Dave White, of course. So welcome this morning. So as Dave mentioned, we are in the holiday season. So, one thing before we get started here, I wanted to mention real quick, we talk about safety, driving down the road, being safe in truck stops, but around this time of the year, holidays bring a little bit of extra stress to some folks. So, sometimes the holidays, don't bring a good thought to some people's mind, lost loved ones, whatever the case may be. So, we encourage all of you to reach out to your people, check in on them, make sure they're doing all right. If you see something, say something. And just make sure you're looking out for your fellow driver, your relatives, your neighbor, whoever the case may be. We wanted to bring that up and mention that this morning. So
important stuff. So what do we got? We got some holiday parties coming up too. I think you got to go to one like a week or so ago, didn't you?
I did. We went up to Pittston. We had a great time, great turnout. I think the biggest turnout that they've ever had up there in Pittston. So it was jam-packed. Everybody had a great time. The food was great. The DJ was great. They had some great props up there. We have some funny videos on camera that hopefully never circulate ever.
I already saw one with you out there cutting a rug out there on the dance floor.
We're going to have to talk about a financial arrangement to have that deleted. So.
Yeah. All right. So look, I tell you what, let's take this out. Let's go, tomorrow or a week from tonight, right? Is
That's right. Salt Lake City.
Let's go out to Salt Lake. Let's talk to those folks here. Do we have Aaron Ward out there? Aaron, you with us?
Good morning, guys. Yes, I'm with you this morning. You are correct. A week from today is our Christmas party here in Salt Lake City. We've had a great week out here this week. A lot of new PSTs coming through, starting their journey with Prime and working on getting their CDLs, and eventually going to move into their own trucks. So we're excited about that. We also had a little bit of weather come through last night. So those drivers that are out there this morning coming across I-80 need to be aware of that and kind of watch out. We also had our 3-on-3 basketball tournament last week, which was a fundraiser for Toys for Tots, and that was a good event. We had several teams participate. We had some drivers that stopped in and played with us as well, and happy to say that the right team won that event and had a very inspired performance.
Well, we're not going to ask who was on that team, or we shouldn't, but
no, let's hear it.
Well, that would have been me, Brian, and Ben Cameron. And we had the nice addition of Brian's son, who's a future collegiate athlete on our team. So that didn't hurt anything.
Yeah, a 18-year-old future Division I athlete, doesn't hurt your cause. So, congratulations on winning that tournament. We saw the pictures. They circulated around down here. So
good. Yep. So everything else is going great out here, and we're excited about that Christmas party. So anyone that's in the area is invited. That's for in-house and drivers.
Good deal. Good information there. And yeah, if you want to go to Salt Lake too, like Aaron said, you're in the area, make sure you let your fleet manager know and they can communicate. So we got enough food and all that. We're ready for you. And love to have you though. It is a fun time. I've been out there many times. So have you, John. They got a beautiful place out there. It's away from the terminal. It's downtown. And they really do it up right. It's a good time. But take a day or two off when you're out there. Enjoy it. And, hey, get back in the swing of things. Hopefully you can make it back to this one here in Springfield.
Absolutely. So, Dave mentioned we got Springfield coming up on 12/29. So before we get back here to Springfield and talk to everybody, let's go out to Rick and Pittston. Rick, how you guys doing this morning?
Hey, good morning. How's everybody doing?
We're doing great. How are you?
Hey, doing great. Last Friday, our Christmas party, we had a great time. 350 people that we had attend us. It was a great crowd.
That's outstanding. So how's everything going in Pittston this week? How's the weather up there?
It's been a little chilly up here, down in the 30s, 40s. We've had some snow, a little bit of snow, not too much, but it is that time of the year, right?
It is. We've dodged it down here so far, but we know it's coming, and we know you probably have it before us. So
yeah, you just got to remember that when it does start snowing, and people have hit snow already, just slow down. Take it easy. Watch out in front of you as far as you can see, and if it comes too bad, just park it.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's great advice, and we'll talk a lot more about that. Some in this meeting and in future meetings to come. So, Rick, if you guys have anything for us, any questions, comments, or concerns, please get a microphone in front of somebody and feel free to jump in.
Thank you. We certainly will.
All right, good deal. Well, let's come back here to Springfield, Missouri. Good morning. Nice. I think
Coming live, man. All right.
we didn't even have to hype up the crowd this morning either before the meeting. Rick might have had a hot mic that he didn't know about earlier, hyping up the crowd up there, but that's okay. We love that. So good morning and welcome. Again, my name is John Harden. This is Dave White. We're both in the safety department here at Prime. So we want to welcome all of you that are here in person at any of the terminals, and as well listening out there on the road, whether you're friend or foe, current driver, future driver, whatever the case may be. We're glad you're tuned in this morning. And we always like to take this opportunity to welcome everyone you see in the yellow vest around here, that this may be their first safety meeting, their first week at Prime. So if this is your first week at Prime, if you're at any of the terminals, please stand up and let us welcome you to the family. Good deal. Well, we think you made a great decision. I know we did our research on you. Hopefully you did your research on us. So we're a very transparent company. This badge that you're wearing will get you into any door. Please make sure that you come in. Make sure you establish a relationship with your fleet manager, your road assist advisor, your log advisor, and anyone else that you work with on a daily basis. Stop by and say hi to us. We're pretty friendly.
We are. We try not to bite, but we are in safety. I know a lot of drivers look at safety being like going to the principal's office when you're in school, but we try not to be like that. We're here to help you out. And if you have questions, even if it's non-safety related, we'll try to find you the answer or get you to the person that has the answer. And that's at the end of the day, that's what you want. So
that's right. Well, let's hop right into the numbers because we've got a packed program today.
We do have a jam-packed program. So this past week, our inspections, we had 139 total. 95 of those were clean, so a 68% clean rate on our DOT inspections. So give yourself a round of applause. That's awesome. This morning, instead of John and I talking about them, I'm going to bring up Stephanie Ewing. Stephanie has transitioned over into safety a couple years ago. Besides that, she's probably got more credibility than John and I because she's actually driven. She drove 12 years out on the road with Chris. Almost 13 years. I messed that up already, but I know she's a 1,000,000-mile safe driver and one year away from getting your 2 million, right? Pretty close. So I'm going to hand the mic over to you. I'm going to let you cover a couple topics that we need to discuss and let you handle it.
All right. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. So I wanted to talk really quick about some medicals just because it is getting into the holiday season and I don't want to shut you guys down if need be, if your CDL gets suspended. So mainly wanted to focus on the states that I cannot update. So there's a couple states that they require you to sign the waiver. So I can email it to you and you can sign it and then I can email your medical over. Delaware, I cannot update for you at all. Tennessee, I cannot update for you at all. Tennessee has a portal online. So if you have a Tennessee CDL, you can download the portal on your phone and update your medical through the portal. Delaware, you have to do everything also. And so same with Connecticut, unfortunately. Missouri, you have to sign another waiver. and I can email it for you once you sign the waiver. But they look at your signature on your Missouri CDL stating, and if it doesn't match, then they will reject it and you have to sign it. Missouri is also a state where if you get downgraded for not being medically certified, we are now considered a walk-in state, meaning you have to fly from wherever you're at in the country and walk your medical into the DMV in wherever city that you're at in Missouri. So at that point, I cannot assist you any longer. Tennessee, I can't assist. Georgia, also, if you get downgraded for whatever reason, if it's a medical, it's a walk-in state only. And I cannot help you at all. Those are the three things. With Christmas coming up, I don't want to shut anyone down.
Yeah, and that's important to remember. You know, you have your physical done and you get your medical card. You're not done with the process, right, Stephanie? You got to get it on file with your state because that's what goes on your MVR. And if you get stopped at a scale, you get pulled over by enforcement, whatever it may be, and they check that and they see your medical's not updated and it's expired, you're done. They shut you down right there. Not only that, it goes as out of service because you're not operating legally with your credentials. And then you got to get somebody like Stephanie involved or somebody here. If it's on the weekend, you're going to be sitting, and that creates all kinds of issues. Now, you're not making money. You got a load sitting there. Customer's not going to be happy. So, remember, you get your medical done. Hey, get that updated with the state. That's important.
And make sure that it's marked correctly. So because I still have my CDL, I'm getting my medical in an hour actually updated. It has to be non-accepted interstate. There is a accepted interstate. There's a non-accepted intrastate. Make sure it's non-accepted interstate. That is for CDL holders that travel in the continental US. So make sure that we are getting the correct certification when we get to the DMV. A lot of the times it's just a mistype, and if you call them and say, hey, it's a mistake, then they'll go ahead and update it right away for you. But again, it happens.
Yeah, and checking the wrong box can happen because they give you 4 choices. If you don't know what you're checking and you don't ask, then there could be a problem. And same as not having it on file. So they will shut you down over that too as well. Even if you got your medical card with you, doesn't matter with enforcement. So they're going off of what it says on your license. So.
And if you guys have any questions about it, stop by my desk, give me a call, anything like that. I'd be more than happy to assist you with your medicals.
Any questions for Stephanie? Man, you be getting off easy here. What's the deal? Oh, hold on.
Where do you find that information? Can you go online and find out?
Your medical?
Yeah. If it's documented properly?
Yeah, so you can call your home state DMV. There's a CDL phone number. If you stop by my desk, I can give you that phone number. If you come to the Z building, I can give you the CDL phone number for your home state DMV so that you can call and verify it.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Stephanie, for coming up here and joining us this morning. Yeah, give her a round of applause. Good job. Good luck on that physical, part of being a truck driver. And Stephanie's going to still keep her CDL and keep it going. That was my advice to her. So, hey, hold on to that. You guys worked hard to get that CDL, so hold on to that. So.
Absolutely. We're going to let you jump right into the next topic here. We're talking about our CSA scores.
Yeah, so this past week, our CSA scores came out. They come out monthly, usually about the first week of the month. And this is November scores, and I'm going to compare that to what we did in October. So our CSA score for unsafe driving this past month for November is an 80%. The October we're 79, so we went up 1% for unsafe driving. We went up 1% for hours of service. We're at 74%. You can see they're up here on the screen too as well. Let's see, the next one here, we got driver fitness, 61%. We went down 3% on that, so we got better. And that's where your CDL comes into play there, and not having the right medicals underneath driver fitness. So if you get stopped for that, that's the violation gets put into that box there for driver fitness. So, but we did get better. We dropped 3%. Controlled substance, 8%. We went down 2 as well there, so improvement. Maintenance, 34, and we went down 1 there. Hazmat, we were at 73%. We actually dropped 5 percentage points there in the hazmat category. So we got better. And probably the most important one out of all of them, I feel, is a crash. And we're at 50. So we dropped 2 percentage points there as well. So couple of boxes there, Johnny, we really need to work on, and that's unsafe driving again and hours of service.
It is. And why don't you go through, what are the top three? Let's look at that one on the far left there,
Yeah.
that unsafe driving. How do we get better at that?
Unsafe driving, failure to obey a traffic control device is still our number one. Seat belts is number two. Cell phone use is number three. So, when you're out there doing the small things right is very important. Not assuming that you can, go down the road and you can roll through that stop sign or just kind of make a right turn on red and kind of roll on through. Missing scales, that's another failure to obey a traffic control device. You need to know where all scales are. If you don't have the Rand McNally Atlas, get it. That gives you all the stationary scales. Now, that's part of them. That's not all of them. Your DriveWise system will give you notification too, but some states, New Mexico, Kansas, they like to put them up in dirt lots sometimes. They just put a sign out on the road and say, hey, scale ahead, pull in. All commercial vehicles need to pull in. They don't care if you got DriveWise or pre-pass or whatever the heck you got in your truck. They want to see you. And so you roll by one of those, you go, oh, what'd that sign say? Well, I guarantee you, an officer's going to be coming behind you. Then he's going to check you. He's going to do the full-blown inspection, looking for other things, rather than if you just would have pulled in, there's a chance he may have said, get out of here. If they just weigh you real quick and you're fine on your weights, there's a chance they may just let you roll on through. But you don't stop. Now we're up against, getting a bad inspection. And that's what hits this category here. So a lot of the time, many times, John, we refer to low-hanging fruit, just like wearing your seatbelt properly. Come on, put that seatbelt on, make sure it's going across your chest. You got to have it on. It's for your safety. It's the law in all states, even Canada too as well. So keep that on in case you're involved in an accident. That seatbelt could save your life, and it does many times. So. But hours of service, I'm going to bring up Brennan in our log department. She's going to discuss what our issues are on the hours of service. No better person than the expert in that area. So here you go. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you. All right. So we are still seeing a lot of the same patterns we've been seeing the last several months. The first violation we saw the most of this week was going to be violations of the clocks, the 11, the 14. The 14-hour rule is the most prevalent violation that we're seeing. There are a few reasons for this. The first is simply not trip planning adequately. There are several things you cannot control on the road. One thing you can control is yourself, how thoroughly you're trip planning. Whether you're coming up with a plan B or C, especially going into winter, if you're going through areas where weather is going to be poor, something you need to plan ahead for. We're also seeing violations due to not meeting split break requirements. So this also kind of goes back to trip planning as well. If you know you're going to a facility who is not going to allow you to finish your 7 or 8 hours sleeper berth break, unfortunately a split is likely not going to work. And if you don't follow through with a 7 or 8 hour sleeper berth break for a split, unfortunately you will retroactively show HOS violations. Now we're also seeing false record of duty status being one of the leaders as well. Now this actually has a very high rate of being placed out of service compared to the other violations we're seeing. We're talking about failure to log on duty, to account for fueling, work at customers, vehicle inspections. We're talking about not logging sleeper berth and off duty properly. If you are physically spending your time in the bunk, make sure to document sleeper. Otherwise, if you're off the truck and you're not working, be sure to show off duty. And last is, of course, personal conveyance. Please make sure that you're only using PC for short personal movements. If you're making any long distance movements or you are doing work, such as going to get fuel, going to washouts, shops, customers, advancing the load, etc., you would have to show drive status. Now, Dave mentioned low-hanging fruit. On the safety side, low-hanging fruit for us is failure to certify logs. We are seeing lots of drivers being ticketed for not doing this. Make sure you're doing this on a daily basis. You'll go into your Certify tab and click on Agree. This is something that must be completed every single day. And for each day you miss it, it could be a separate write-up. Now, one thing we saw quite a bit this week as well was not having a paper logbook on the truck and also not being able to provide the instruction sheet. So it's kind of a 2-for-1 because the instruction sheet is located inside your prime paper logbook. This is a very valuable resource. These are free at all the terminals, Springfield, Salt Lake, Pittston. If you do not have a paper logbook and you're at a terminal, please see us so we can hook you up with that. If you're out on the road and you do not have a paper logbook, pick one up locally. That way you're prepared. Do we have any questions?
You don't have a question? Okay, so this week, the weekly safety staple that's coming out, which should be this morning, as soon as Mitch gets it out there. Brennan was nice enough to put some stuff together that she just talked about. So please make sure that you tune in and listen to that. We've got a link there you can listen to. It'll be on your Prime app. You can read through it. It focuses on your hours of service. And how many of you folks in here right now with a truck don't have a paper logbook on your truck? Or maybe I should ask, how many of you do have a paper logbook on your truck? I'll probably get more hands in the air for that, right? If you don't, before you leave outbound, please get one. Log department is right out there, right behind driver lineup. Please make sure you get one. That goes for everybody at Pittston and Salt Lake City. If you're passing through today, this week, this weekend, make sure that you double check, make sure you've got that on your truck because it is very low hanging fruit, right?
Yes, that's right.
So let's talk about the log class that you teach over there. At what's the building called? I forgot it.
Plaza.
The Plaza building, right? Plaza building. So what's the class schedule for that and what time does it start?
Yeah, so we hold those log classes Monday through Friday at 1:30 p.m. So it's every single day during the week aside from holidays. It's a 2-hour class and it's located in the multipurpose room. If you were in Salt Lake City or Pittston, you can take that class as well. We do simulcast. So 2:30 local time for Pittston, 12:30 local time for Salt Lake City.
Okay, and how many people can you hold in the class here in Springfield? Do you know the numbers, Springfield, Pittston, Salt Lake City? It's a lot,
Oh
right?
my goodness. Yeah, it's a lot.
These classes are likely not going to be filled up, okay? So unlike the PSC class, sometimes we have a lot of upgrades, whatever the case may be, you can get in this class. And, we really encourage everybody to take the PSC class once a year, whether you need it or not, because every time you take it, you learn something new, right? And I don't feel like the log class is any different. If you're here or at any terminal, your truck's in the shop, you have the day off, whatever the case may be, you're waiting on a load. If you haven't had the class in the last 12 months, please take it. All it will do is benefit you. And this is your livelihood. These CSA points, your score out there, that's your livelihood, right? So, we want you to take that once a year if you haven't. And then last question here. I think that's all my questions. I'm sorry. I
Okay.
talked about one already. So please get out there and take that. If you have any questions for Brennan, she's going to hang out over here for a little bit and feel free to come up and ask her. All right.
All right.
So thank you very much this morning.
Thank you. I just have one more announcement. Our fearless leader, Susan Byrne, it's her birthday today. So if she's your log person or if she's not, feel free to come see us and wish her a happy birthday.
All right. Well, happy birthday, Susan.
Yes, happy birthday, Susan. Hey, John, we did have a question come in, Jamie did too, about the spare logbooks, and if there's a cost to them, and there isn't, they're free. So if you want to get a couple, especially if you train, it's probably a good idea to have 2 spare logbooks just in case your trainee misplaces theirs or doesn't get one or forgets to get one, then you have an extra one in your truck, so you guys are always covered, so.
Perfect. Well, good deal.
Oh,
Nope. That
no
wasn't a
questions,
hand up.
okay. Oh, go ahead, Julie.
I was just going to say, one of the best places to put that extra logbook is right in with your permit book. That way it's always there where you need it.
There you go. That permit book comes in handy because you need that for no matter what going down the road. That spare logbook goes right with it.
My question is, how long is the log class, and is it one of them classes we get paid to attend?
So the class is 2 hours, 2 hours long, I believe she said. And I don't believe that you're paid to take the logs class. Is that correct?
No, you don't get paid for that, but it's good education. Just a reminder, if you're here on the lot and your truck's getting worked on or whatever, you got some downtime, good class to take. It's one like anything, the PSC class, the maintenance class, it all goes hand in hand. And with your fleet manager, they get you signed up, we'll go over there. So
Absolutely. So, all right, let's go to our next speaker here.
let's go here. So driver health and fitness this time of year is a tough one, folks. I know got lots of goodies going on, and we got somebody like Colby come up here and say, you can't have that. No, that's not him, really. Really, I've seen this guy eat some bad food before, too, so you're good, but you're one of us. But anyways, great to have him up here, Colby from Driver Health and Fitness.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, you don't have to leave, John. It's just me. But actually, I'm going to invite Maria from Pistons, our trainer. She has we're trying to do a health tip every Friday. We go on here with you guys. So, Maria, are you over there?
I'm here.
All right, well, how about you speak to everybody real quick?
Well, there are so many tips that I can suggest, but if I'm just told one today, so we'll stick with that. But what I can say to everyone is set goals. Set goals, but it doesn't stop there. Make a plan, write it out. It's good to set the goals, say them, make a plan, see them, and be sure that in your plan, you plan for failure. You plan for a bad day. How are you going to recover? How are you going to repair? How are you going to get back up? Start over.
Love it. Yeah, so set goals, right? So I love that one because we all have our own, right? They're independent for each person, what you have. But the other thing, too, is about longevity of that goal. So, Maria, that's great advice because sometimes we set them like too small or too big or too close or too far. So I do want to make a point. You walked in and she said failure. What?
Well,
like, hey.
I've set goals before, and that's what I was going to ask. You said too far out or unrealistic. What's a realistic goal? Because I've gone on a diet. I'm going to lose weight, and 4 days in, I haven't lost anything, and I'm like, this isn't working.
Yeah.
So what's realistic?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Maria. I don't know if you stole the mic. We recorded a podcast, our Healthier Highway podcast, and we just had one yesterday, a conversation about it, and it was like, maybe we look at what our goal is, right? So the goal shouldn't maybe be weight loss, right? Maybe it should be a better lifestyle or in creating a healthier behaviors. That the output and the results would be weight loss, but like maybe it's just like when we fixate on a number, sometimes that's difficult, right? So like I always say, like sometimes the byproduct is the weight loss when you get on a scale, but the last thing I want is, we talk all the time with drivers, is like, man, I'm doing awesome. I'm watching what I'm eating. I've watched my sugary beverage. I've reduced this. And they're like, let's try the scale. They get on the scale and it's like, dang it. Like, why? You had this awesome momentum and a great mentality, and then all of a sudden you let the scale just kind of deter you, right? I just think that's a byproduct, but it doesn't have to be a direct result.
So there's a lot of unseen benefits. I mean, you can't see your cholesterol or your sugar levels like you're talking about. So maybe I should have stuck with it a little bit harder.
Always stick with it. Yep. And that's why we're here too. We're here to talk about it for this reason. But you guys, we have, like I said, we have trainers in all 3 locations. Rachel, our dietitian, same thing. We're always here to help. And I always talk to drivers every week in orientation. Like it's something that Prime has that, if not every other company, almost no other company has. So use us. That's why we're here. It's a benefit of being a Prime driver. So
how much is it to come talk to you?
$0 free. It's a benefit of being a driver. So that's it's a perk. We have 5 full-time employees that work for Prime in our driver health and fitness department. That tells you how important it is for you in your health and fitness. So we're here to help.
Good deal. Does anybody have any questions for Colby here at any of the terminals while he's up here?
Yep. I'll be over here if you do. Maria, appreciate you.
All right. Thank you
just
very
one more
much,
thing
Maria.
too. Okay, thanks. No, I was just going to say, when you're thinking about your goals, try to be more positive about them. We always try to say, I'm going to lose, or I'm not going to eat, and try to put it, what are you going to do instead? I'm going to get to the gym more. I'm going to walk more. I'm going to try to put a positive spin on those goals.
That's great advice. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we just talked about that. Make it who you are, not what you're doing, right? So.
All right. Good information. Yeah. Good round of applause for him. That's awesome.
It is. So yeah, please come by and see Colby or Maria if you're up there in Pittston. They can put a plan together for you, set up some goals for 2024. I probably need to talk to them myself. So
yeah, I think we all do in our department, definitely. So tell you what, let's move on. Christmas coming up. We got the company store right down here, all 3 locations. Pittston, Salt Lake also has a company store. So let's have old Summer come up here, Summer Long. I'm sure she's got some good gift items, if need be, that you could buy and give to John Harden. Yeah, John, you need that shovel, John. You could shovel your driveway with that.
Now I got an 11-year-old that probably uses better than I could. So
Good morning. We do have lots of Christmas things in the store. If you need stocking stuffers like snoozies for your feet, like house slippers, stuffed animals for the kids. If you are an ornament collector, we have some new Christmas glass etched ornaments. They're super cute. But today I do want you to be winter prepared. As you hear, Pittston and Salt Lake have snow in those areas. If you need something just to keep you extra warm or just as a backup in case a bunk heater goes out, we have heard that from time to time. We do now have sleeping bags that are made by Coleman. They go down to this 35 degrees and about a 6 foot 8 inch man can fit in here or individual. So most people can fit in these quite comfortably. If you just want an extra preparation for your truck. I also have a new ice scraper to introduce. For reference, I am 5'5". So has a pretty good reach to help, us smaller folks out there and, get across that windshield. And if John or Dave have a question, you can have this for free today. I also, if you're in a sticky situation out there and need to shovel something out, we got a nice little snow shovel, pretty durable. Both of these items are $15 at the company store. They're here, Pittston, Salt Lake. The sleeping bags are on their way to Pittston and Salt Lake, but is available on the online store at primeinkstore.com. $86. So if you are interested in these, please stop by the store.
All right. So you said we could give these away this morning?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, let's think of a question here real quick. How about we do this for if you're new here to Prime, we'll let you answer first on this one. So Dave, I'm going to get the first question. So be thinking of the second question.
Go for it, Johnny.
Question number 1, with winter coming up, we've got snow, we've got ice, we've got overnight freezing temperatures. So with that in mind, this is for the new folks again. Who determines if it's safe to operate your tractor down the road?
Hold on, say it in the mic. We didn't hear you.
I do.
You are correct.
Oh,
You're the captain of the ship. Which one would you want to choose from? The scraper? We hand it to her, please. All right. So you are the captain of the ship, the sales coordinator, the dispatcher, safety department. We're not the ones that make that decision. You're out there on the road. If it's not safe to drive down the road, please get hold of your fleet manager and tell them that. They're not going to give you any pushback, right? If it's June and you're in Arizona, they may question you. But this time of year, we want you to err on the side of caution. We want you to be safe. No load that we haul is worth your safety or anyone's safety around you. So
there you go. My question is pretty simple. The new CDL testing standards, is there an alley dock problem for that? The new CDL testing standards? Come on, only go. Okay, right back there. Yellow shirt or yellow vest. No, that is correct. Yes, come on up. Good job. You got the answer right. Congratulations. John, get that gentleman's name.
What's your name, sir?
Robert Byers.
Robert Bowers. Where are you from?
From Silsbee, Texas.
Is this your first week here at Prime? Been here before. All right. Not his first week. The vest threw me off. So, all right.
All right. Anything else, Summer, you want to say?
And just for those who have been concerned for the Salt Lake City store hours, at the beginning of the year, we now had Tatum join Cody up in Salt Lake City. So the store hours will increase to match Pittston and Springfield's, which is Monday through Friday, 7 to 7, Saturday, 9 to 5, and Sunday, 9 to 3.
Awesome. Good deal. So if you need Summer afterwards, whatever, she's right down the hallway in the company store. They do a wonderful job. So stop on down there. Thank you, Summer. Good round of applause for her. Thanks. So let's see the next one here. Something we probably need to listen to very closely, being in safety, and something we haven't covered in a long time.
We do, and this is actually, I think, every week at the end of the meeting, we say if you have a topic that you would like for us to talk about and discuss, we will.
So captain of your ship, that's the most important thing. So my name is Stan Castrick. I work in the driver training area here at Prime. Got Junior Honduras here. Several of you probably have seen or know who Junior is. There you go. We got fans. You got fans.
It seems like that, yes.
Then we have Thomas Schumacher here. Thomas has been a Prime for 28 years now. He was a driver for about 17 years here at Prime. He's now in-house, a CDL examiner, one of our key folks in the training department for sure here at Prime. So the most important thing to know, before I forget this, Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy New Year. If I don't get to see you, thank you for those of you who are out on the road, working through these holidays as well. The most important thing to know about driving down a steep grade is you can go down it too slow as many times as you want. You'll only go down it too fast once. And my tag on to that is, and if you survive that crash, you'll never do it again, right? So making that determination before you ever start down that grade is the most important thing. Don't know what your speed limit is. We've got some seasoned folks here at this front table who have done this for a long time. They've all instructed and trained here at Prime. Junior's an instructor and a trainer. Tom instructed and trained here when he was out on the road. So we have a lot of resources here. I do have one just a little short video that Junior did. I think it was April of this year. This is dry conditions, just some basic stuff. Now, this is a Freightliner, correct?
Yeah, that is correct. 2024.
Okay, 2024 Freightliner truck. Junior finally realized that his left knee was getting sore, so we got out of a manual transmission into an automatic. So we're going to talk, just a short video is going to talk about how to set up to go down a steep grade, okay? Before we play that here, kind of set us up on what you were doing that and who you had a truck with you.
He was a TNT student, and we're coming down on I-77. We're going south. We're going, I forgot the name of the mountain, but we were headed into North Carolina, and it was, I think it's 6%. I can't remember, but I told him we need to set up before, at like the very top of the hill. So before we start descending down the mountain. So, I kind of walk him through. I said, go ahead and, set the engine brake and then the cruise control, and then it'll hold him down. And it did. I think he only stepped on it a few times or maybe once, if that. But it does hold you down. The levels of the engine brake will be determined on the weight and the steep of the grade. So you can go from 1, 2, or 3, but it works really well, really well.
So, depending on the conditions, and these will be dry conditions that you'll see in this video. Just depending on the conditions, if there's rain, sleet, or snow, adverse conditions like that, we still have to control our speed. If the speed limit's 40, 10 mile an hour may be the speed to go if you're going down that steep grade. If you feel comfortable with one of these things, will help in some of that. There are some websites out there that talk about the grade. You're looking at road conditions as you're heading in, as you're doing your trip planning for that day. So, Brianna, Richard, go ahead and play that video real quick, if you would, please.
So, if you guys set your descent control engine brake properly, this is how you will go down the mountain or hill. And he's got it set at 50 miles an hour. He hasn't touched the brake once, and we're going down this big drop over here on 77 South in Virginia, going into North Carolina. So again, guys, he has not touched the brake one time. The engine brake is doing all the work. He's got it set at 50 miles an hour.
Okay. Go ahead.
And I just want to add that on that video, that load we had about 42,000 pounds too. So we were pretty heavy.
Okay, so that thing's pushing you. Gravity's taking over, trying to take over on that. So you have to control that. I know that there are a lot of different opinions to a certain point on how you go down a steep grade. The most important thing is to have your speed controlled before you ever start down it. Okay. we're not wanting to get into war stories here and the experiences that everyone has, but does anyone have any questions as far as that? Yeah, Julie.
I don't hear anybody explain how to go down a hill anymore when systems fail. Just one of those things I think everybody should be taught.
So what kind of system are you talking about?
Any of them, the trucks and the AI and everything, that is man-made stuff. And as you well know, and I well know, man-made stuff fails on occasions. Maybe rare, but it fails.
Well, and so if we're controlling our speed, right?
But a lot of these young ones,
Well, that's why we train. That's why I'm so thankful that Prime has the program that we have to help people understand that. And those of you who have maybe never been in a truck yet, you're waiting for your instructor or your trainer. That's what I love about the program that Prime has, what Robert's allowed us to do. Prior to coming here, I never felt like I had the opportunities to teach people how to be a professional, safe driver. So that's why we control our speed before we ever start down that grade. So if there is a mechanical failure, then we have it under control at that point. If we're at the point that something fails, we can't always control mechanical stuff, but we can do a pre-trip inspection on it, right? Just like Monteagle, I-24 eastbound towards Chattanooga, Tennessee. If you've been down that grade, it's crazy. It's all level, and all of a sudden, here you go, right? But there are a lot of signs before that tell us what we need to do and our speeds and all that stuff before we start down that grade. There's a brake check station, right? So that's why we have to make sure to check our equipment, make sure that everything is okay before we start down it. Things can happen. There's no doubt about it. But if we're controlling our speed, if we're set up for success at the top of it, then if something does happen, we can hopefully control
Hey,
that.
Stan, real quick, what about wet weather, snow, ice? How should they be braking going out? Obviously, staying away from the Jakes is probably, but I'll let you guys discuss that.
Go ahead.
Well,
Jake.
that's a good question. And, it's hard to say because there's not really a right or wrong answer, but it's based on you, the captain of the ship. You have to know, obviously, if it's raining hard, you're not going to be able to use it. But if it's somewhat moist, and you'll be able to tell by the vehicles that pass you, the mist that is snowing on the tires of the vehicles. So if it's snowing, you're not going to use it, obviously, but you just have to know how much can you use it at a certain weather type.
Everybody that I ever taught, I always taught them in foul weather, you do not use your Jake brakes, period. That's all there was to it. And the reason being is you got 10 sets of brakes to help you brake. You still have your transmission that you can actually downshift and slow that truck down a little bit. Even with the automatic, you can just push the yoke forward a little bit and it downshifts. It still downshifts.
But I think
because of the speed.
With her question, I think that if the equipment fails, then you probably get in somewhere and get that turned off, like he said. And then you can manually shift it down.
And it does depend on your speed. So it does depend on your speed, right? So if you're controlling your speed, it's not going to upshift, right? Okay.
Well, the way to keep it from upshifting is to keep your foot on the brake pedal. Just touching it and getting the brake lights to come on will stop it from shifting again. They'll let you stay in that one gear all the way through it. I keep telling people every day that it's a safety issue that you need to do. If you're using your Jake brake on an icy road or snowy road, you're only using 2 wheels to slow that truck down, not 4, not all 10. If you're using your brakes and you're using your transmission correctly, you're using all the equipment that'll get you down the mountain safely.
I will say one other thing too. The engine brake for the new guys does not wear down. So if you got people telling you that the engine brake will wear down, it does not wear down. You can use that forever.
Well, and it is a mechanical system. So, the Billy Bob Big Riggers out there who have the 7-inch stacks on a 379 Peterbilt. I'm old. They like to show off going through town, but our systems are set up to be functional. I think trucks are safer today than they've ever been. I don't think, I know. So just doing the right thing. If you have any questions on that, feel free to reach out to me. We're going to stay around for after the meeting, and we'll answer any questions there. Those of you who've chosen Prime to learn how to be a professional commercial motor vehicle operator, thank you. Those of you who have been here for years and have given us your service, thank you so much for what you do. God bless you, and I want you to be safe out there. Any questions that you need from me, please let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Good information there, John. One thing they brought up was the brake station, and that's important to note. If you come across the brake station, you got to pull in and check your brakes. We do get written up on violations for that. If you go on by thinking, oh, I'm fine, I've got this. Nope, if there's an enforcement officer there, you just violated, you're going to get a bad inspection on it, and they'll pull you back and make sure your brakes are ready to go down that hill. And there's a reason why, they want to make sure your brakes are cooled off and that you've checked them and they're ready to go. So,
And also, like they were talking about, being set up for success at the top of the hill or the top of the mountain is absolutely critical. And Dave, what are our tire speeds rated for? I mean, you see these, if you want to come see safety, when we see these excessive overspeeds or overspeeds, critical events come through. That's one of the quickest ways to come see us. We don't want you to come see us for that. So
yeah, we don't want anybody going over 75 miles an hour, and that's where your tires are rated at. So stay well below that. And if you do get an overspeed, you'll be brought in. And we'll give you one break, but after that, you'll be going somewhere else to drive. We can't have that truck going above 75 miles an hour. That's not safe. So one more question. Darla, good to see you back.
Thank you. Like you said, do not pass up those brake checks, because it's not been too long ago that I got inspected on Mount Eagle.
There you go.
And if you don't stop and they come and get you, you're in trouble.
There you go. That's it right there. So
that's right. That's another one. Those CSA points we're talking about for earlier in the program here. So we got to get in, pull into those fail to obey traffic control devices are our highest failure when it comes to those. So
yep.
So real quick, I'll just feed right off of what Stan just said. We always ask that if you have any suggestions, ideas, thoughts for these meetings, please come see us after the meeting's over. If you're not here in person at one of the terminals where you can talk to somebody, please send us an email. Our email is just safe@primeinc.com. That'll come to us if you've got an idea, or give us a call. Our number is there on the Prime app. But, we like hearing from you guys. We had that last segment there came in from a suggestion that we had. So if you have any ideas, please find us afterwards. And also, as Stan mentioned, we like to honor our military here. So you can see that we're all wearing red today. Remember, everyone deployed is what that stands for. So if you have served in the military, please stand up. Let us recognize you. Let us thank you for your services. That's awesome. We appreciate that.
one last thing too, if you have questions on your app or any type of technological questions with the Prime mobile app, right over here to our right, your left is Brianne and Richard. And they're there after the meeting. If you want to stop by and see them, hey, that's what they're there for. Also, too, all of our vendors back there, we got all of our vendors. We got Freightliner, Peterbilt, International, you name it. They're all here, and they're here to help you guys out. So if you have questions on your truck, trailer, utilities back there too, hey, stop back there. Just talk to them, chit chat with them. They'll help you out as well. That's what they're there for, to make you guys successful, make us successful as a company. So.
All right, well, let's bring up our next speaker here. We're going to bring up Mr. Jim Guthrie from our refrigerated division here. Jim's going to talk about the holidays coming up.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Thank you. Talked about it last week. Gonna review it again here for the reefer division, our holiday incentive for capacity to stay out during the holiday period. We're going to do a drawing on January the 12th. And every day that you're available between December the 23rd and January the 2nd, and you're out running freight, then every day you're out running freight, you get entered into the drawing. And on January the 12th, we're going to draw 82 lucky winners, 2 grand prizes of $25,000, and 80 other cash prizes from $1,250 up to $10,000. And then in addition to our 2 grand prize winners of $25,000. So, very excited about it. We want to generate some excitement around this. It's a busy time of the year. Everybody's got family obligations and you want to spend time with your families. We understand that. We just want to have a program that recognizes your efforts and incentivizes you to be available as many days as possible during that time. We don't want to sugarcoat anything. It's been a pretty tough year, and it's been a pretty tough year for our customers as well. They've all got shareholders, they've got bosses to report to, and sales, inflation, the economy overall. It's just been a really tough year for everybody. And so, we know there's probably going to be some extra demand around that time, which is a really, again, important time for everybody to be home with their families. But the more that we help our customers during that time period, the more it's going to pay off in 2024. And it could be pretty tough for the first part of 2024 as well. That's kind of an unknown. But, what we do know is the more that we help our customers during that time period, the better we'll get reciprocated after the first of the year. So, you all work really hard. We recognize the holidays are an important time. So this program is just another, incentive on the part of Prime to generate some excitement around staying out as many days as possible during that time period. We're lucky enough this morning to have a gentleman here that was a grand prize winner last year, and I want to bring him up. Jason Foster, you got a minute to come up, and we need a microphone. Oh, Steve will help here.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Jason,
hey,
I think you were out running freight till late last night and it arrived, so I haven't talked to you, but tell everybody what you won last year.
I won the Ram pickup truck last year.
Awesome. So
yeah,
that's great. Yeah. Now, you weren't here when we had the drawing. How'd you find out you had won?
I was outside running freight, and my dispatcher called me a few minutes after it broke. I usually watch it at night because I'm driving. So he called me up and said, "Hey, Jason, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm driving. I'm good for my OTD, on-time delivery." He goes, Yeah, you are. Are you sitting down? I started joking with him. I said, "No, I'm standing up, foot on the wheel, and I'm trying to make my bed." And he said, "You crazy?" I said, "Yeah, I am." "All right, cool." And he goes, "Well, I need you to relax a second, take a breath." I said, "Okay, well, what am I in trouble now?" He goes, "No, you won." "I won what?" "All right, do you remember the Christmas incentives drawings?" I said, "Yes, I won the daggone lease payment, one of the lease payments. I won one of those." "Okay, cool. All right." "No," he said, "think higher." I said, "Think higher. What did I do? Win the truck?" He said, "Yes." I was like, "Yes. What do you mean I won it? I won it? Yes. When do I get it? How do I get it? Where do I get it? Where do I go? How do I get it?" I was like crazy.
Outstanding.
Travis Elwell, he said, "Calm down, man. All right, we're going to figure all that out, but you won the truck. Congratulations. Great." I said, "Yes."
There we go. That's what it's all about. Now, how long have you been at Prime?
I've been about 6 years.
6 years. Okay, great. Looks like you're a veteran too. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, do you remember how many days you were available last year during the time period?
Yeah, I rolled out a day after Christmas. I spent some family time and rolled on to 26. Yep.
Okay. Do you remember? Well, we went back and looked, and we found 6 entries for you out of I think 11 or 12.
Yep.
So, again, that just kind of illustrates you don't have to run every day. Just give us as many days as you can that work with what your family plans are, and it's a good chance to win some really nice prizes and some nice money. So,
oh yeah.
Hey, Jason, thank you so much for what you do. Appreciate you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah, good.
Okay, that's all I've got. Anybody have questions for me?
Yeah, there's a couple right there.
Yeah.
Is that available for all, like both drivers like my co-driver and me, or?
A-seat drivers. So if
Okay.
you have an A-seat co-driver, that would be available for you as well. Other
We got
questions?
another question?
I think we just answered it too. Had some
Okay.
question. Okay.
Thanks, Jim. Appreciate it very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Man, I'm telling you, we just had this, this education about how to get down mountains. Glad Jason wasn't thinking about going down a mountain when he got that news. We'd have had a runaway, wouldn't we? Been a real challenge for sure. It's so good to see y'all here. We appreciate very much what you do. I didn't put on red today, but I damn sure remember everybody deployed every day and truly appreciate it. So thank you all and that have served, and appreciate all of our drivers out there that are not with us but are driving and that have served as well. So yeah, we've talked a little bit about the business in general. It has been a challenging year. The good news is we see our load count picking up pretty much on a weekly basis. So that's very encouraging. I think we believe we've bottomed out and we're starting to build back now. So just hang in there. Our customers have been very good to us. They've been good to us because of what you all do. Nobody gives service better than those prime drivers, all of you. So thank you so much. It's the differentiator when they only have so many loads out there and they've got a few more trucks than they have loads. They're looking at prime. So keep doing it, but safety's our highest calling. Don't ever forget it. Glenn, I think you're losing weight again, aren't you? You're back on the wagon, huh? Yeah, you look it. Either you're buying larger clothes or you're losing weight, one or the other. But it's okay. You stay after it. Appreciate it. So more than anything, I just want to again tell you how much we appreciate what you do. This is a tough time for our customers. They expect their products to get delivered. They want the shelf space to have their product on it. So we do ask you if you don't have plans to get home, to stay out and run. You can win some money, obviously. Thank you, Robert, for investing in a couple $100,000 to our fleet to try to encourage you all to stay out and run. So business is coming back. We got another 3 weeks or so, or 2 weeks before we really hit the slowdown time. So just do the best you can out there. There's never a load so important that it can't not cool off in the ditch. So please be careful. You only get one chance with this bad weather. You know it's coming. Just call your fleet manager. If you don't feel comfortable, get off, get secure, and we'll deal with the customer side. They don't expect you to hurt yourself trying to deliver a load, I can promise you. We'll get past all that, okay? So thank you again for what you do. I'm going to have the guy that started our company a few years ago. He got his red on, Kansas City Chiefs. Go Chiefs. They're struggling just a little bit.
Yeah, they are.
But they're going to get past that too, brother.
Yeah, we're going to pull a heck of a comeback here. It's good to see you all. For your new folks, welcome to Prime. It's good to have you. You know, we truly appreciate our drivers. We respect our drivers. Drivers are important people obviously to our company, but to our country and to our society. You all deliver the freight. Don't turn me up too loud, Brianne. These people run me off. I want to break their eardrums. So I want you to know that. I want you to go forward with that knowledge that you are respected and you should expect to be treated with respect. Holidays coming up, compelling time. Everybody wants to get home to their families. We have wonderful customers, thankfully to our wonderful drivers that provide that service. You know, those good customers stick with us, and we have some great ones. These traffic managers, believe it or not, in light of conditions, they have taken good care of us. So we want to reciprocate. We want to help them protect their jobs. I mean, you know, the CFO really gets pissed off if that traffic manager didn't get the loads picked up and delivered over yonder. That's just the way the world turns. You know what I'm saying? So we want to take care of these managers that have supported us, and we need your help to do that. I mean, you can run the full time and put your name in the drawing multiple times and still not get picked. We understand that. Market conditions just don't allow for us to do things that are as rewarding as they were in the past. Hopefully, we'll have enough capacity out there to take care of our customers And, you know, we have to have a business to run here. So this is what we're doing this year. And hopefully, I mean, well, it's only a token. Hopefully you'll understand that we do appreciate you being out there. Folks, do a wonderful job. Things are going to be better. Stay optimistic, stay positive, and we'll get through this. It's really not all that bad. Our solo drivers, I think we're the average last 13 weeks, Jim, 1,700 and change. You know, that's pretty good for a downtime. And what were the team leads? 34. Pretty good money, pretty decent. And that's on average. So we have some that are a lot more, and we have some that are a lot less, but that opportunity is out there, even in this freight market. So again, thank you for what you do. God bless each of you, and please be safe.